Hello there, it is Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out the Orchestra Complete 4 with Forces of Fury expansion from Best Service and Sonuscore. Best Service and Sonuscore are once again expanding their flagship, the Orchestra Complete library, with the fourth expansion in this series, Forces of Fury. With the emphasis on power, percussion, orchestral depth and louder dynamics, the arrival of Forces of Fury adds a whole new dimension to the Orchestra Complete. With a more traditional articulation-based ATP sampled core orchestra, a huge amount of orchestral rhythms and many different orchestral animations, the Orchestra Complete 4 is not only an incredibly quick and versatile composing tool, it delivers inspiration, direction and creativity in spades. The Orchestra Complete has gone from being the small, innovative instrument that it was many years ago to an orchestral composing powerhouse. The Orchestra Complete 4 downloads at around 25 gigabytes and it runs in the free Contact Player and is also NKS compatible. For a brand new The Orchestra Complete 4 license, it is $479 and the new Forces of Fury expansion has a standalone price of $149. However, if you already own different versions of the orchestra, do check out your Sonuscore account because you will be eligible for different upgrade or cross-grade options. There is an upgrade for all of the Orchestra Complete 3 owners for $99 and an upgrade for all of the Orchestra Complete 1 or 2 owners for $129. In this video, we're going to check out the sounds and the functionality of the Orchestra Complete 4 with a focus to Forces of Fury, and of course I have put this into the composition challenge. I went for 90 minutes this time and I will explain why a little bit later. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Sonuscore for sending over a pre-release copy of the Orchestra Complete 4. That is very important because there are a couple of kinks that will have been ironed out for release date. However, I've been lucky enough to work with the Orchestra Complete 4 for nearly a week now, and it's been a fantastic experience. While we do get the instruments for free, it doesn't in any way cloud our thoughts, ideas or judgments. We are just working composers giving you our insights. And of course, if you're not done so already, please hit that subscribe button. And now, without further ado, let's jump into the Orchestra Complete 4 and Forces of Fury. Here we go, we have the Orchestra Complete 4 from Sonuscore and Best Service loaded in the free Native Instruments Contact Player 8. Fantastic. Let's talk about the instrument and how it is put together. So this is our main page. Now, if we click in the middle, we actually get all of our different presets. So I've already filtered to Forces of Fury and Orchestral Voicings because that's where we're going to start. And we can see we have 55 different orchestral voicings. It started off with the big string sustain voicing 1. And you can see we've got all of these different layers. There's 5 different layers and different instruments. Now, depending where you are on the keyboard, you're going to hear different combinations of instruments. So we're lower down there, and if we go up the octave. And then we can use these key switches. This is a pre-release version, and I've noticed the first key switch will turn off the octave arrangement sound. And the second one will add it again. Beautiful. And we have the engine, so you can turn the arpeggiator on. We'll talk about that later because that's how you can create a lot more movement, and of course we've got a mixer, so more detail going on there. Now, if I go onto the presets and just play Sustain Voicing 2, it's that instant lush sound. Let's go for voice 4. This is far bassier, a lot bigger. And of course, while you're working and composing, you're going to have a lot more time and be able to get everything sounding and blending beautifully together, because I'm using the mod wheel with my left hand and trying to do some stretches to give you an idea. If I leave the mod wheel just, you know, let's say sort of 3/4. It's a sin not to use the mod wheel because I can't get everything to blend. So that's why I'm kind of sticking in the same place. Now we've got marcato. Yeah, sounds brilliant. Let's go for marcato voicing 3. Very dynamic. And then tremolo, do tremolo voicing 2. I can hear different parts of the ensemble coming in. Sort of lose the basses there. Lovely. And let's scroll down. Don't use the scroll wheel. I fell foul of that before. And don't double click either. Just single click on everything. Lovely, so some staccato. And then we've got fury strings, and these sound different to the big strings. Again, if I click on main, we can see we've got high and low string sustain going on there. Lovely. Let's do fury string staccato. Felt like I was playing a Christmas advert there. Marvellous. And then we got Fury Orchestra Sustain. So again, if I just close this, we can see we've got high and low strings. We've got horn, trombone, evil brass. Evil it is. it sounds cool. And then again, the mixer, let's say you want to bring the trombone down, you can move that down. And everything's pre-panned as well. Very, very useful stuff. So let's go back to Fury Orchestra. I'll play Marcato. Beautiful stuff. Oh, excuse me. Doing it again. Let's just. Why is it doing that? That's new. Let's go staccato. That's strange. Yeah, so dynamic. Absolutely love it. And then we've got some different things. We've got Shark Falls. Oh, hello. Yeah, activated by velocity. Staccato doubles. So trying to play the entire range for you there. Let's do Hollywood Sustain. I've done it again. Do you know what? This has never happened in making this video until I started recording it. So I've composed it for 90 minutes and yeah, strange. Hollywood Sustain 1. I mean, that is just massive. That sounds awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mammoth drums. So we've got some drums now. Again, very, very dynamic. I'm just going to bring down the overall volume so I can really hammer these. They sound ace. And there's different styles of mammoth drums. Beautiful. Excellent. And then we got monster hits right down the bottom. And these sound really cool. So if you look at the instruments that are here, we got a bass drum, we got grand piano, low accents, percussion, grand piano, low string effects. So these are quite interesting. Monster hits. I think they sound great. And then we've got orchestral rhythms. So if I just play a 3/4 rhythm. Lovely. Now, here's the thing about the rhythms. If you play in the sort of lower blue quadrant, get a nice kind of pulse. And of course, the mod wheel is useful for dynamics. The green, almost like a full mid-range. And then the high blue, yep, you can guess it's high. So of course I couldn't play two hands and use the mod wheel, but you get the idea. So we've got all of these different time signatures going on as well. And I've just noticed we are right down the bottom. So I will start off with those, but I'll skip them when we get to. So if we just play big strings, and these are in 16ths, this would be 4/4. Everything tempo syncs wonderfully well. Yes. And we've got different key switches. Now this will change the rhythm we're playing. So if I was to do a D major chord, lovely. So yeah, we can key switch to our heart's content. Now, this is more cinematic, so the action cues sound fantastic. So playing the lower blue keys, you're just going to get the drum rhythms. And they're fantastic. You can hear some bass strings in there as well, which is cool. And again, these are all key switchable. So let's just do, I'll do eighths, second bank. Get the idea. And they've got action riffs. Let's go play a few of these. Let's key switch those. Now, of course, you can use a mod wheel. Bring in the percussion. And then we have, let's say, apocalyptic. Yeah. Chase cue. Lovely. Now, because we don't have a huge amount of time, I'm going to sort of jump over quite a lot of different sounds. And of course, I'm not playing all the key switches, but part of the fun is working all this out for yourself. Yeah. Got some fourth note Fury strings. Crotchets were over in the UK. Yes. Now on to our quavers. So eighth notes. Yep, sometimes I like just playing random chords, so I was just holding down a G and then just playing different extensions, creating different voicings, and the orchestra follows all of that. Love it. Let's do, so we've done big strings, barbarian drums, these are quite loud. They can be very quiet when you need them. Military drums, really, really useful. Create a big old ensemble there. Lovely stuff. And then we got African runs. I love the percussion. So there we go. It sounds great, and it really is big, and it's something that the Orchestra Complete needed. There's always been percussion there, but this is big, and it's new recordings. It sounds wonderful. Then we've got the animated orchestra. So let's say I choose Strike Force. Again, you've got key switches. Sounds great. Let's go back to the top. We do Bannerfall. Yeah, it's one I could just go on and on with it. Celestial Flow uses sort of bells and chimes. Sounds a bit different. Beautiful. Death March. I love how it's called Dread March, not Death March, and I'd play something major key. Evil March. Love it. Let's do Iron Rising. It's beautiful. So these animations, they're just great cue starters or to get inspiration, mallet run. Rolling Thunder. I love the percussion. It is so good. So good. I'm going to play one more. Warriors theme. Beautiful. Beautiful. And there we go. That is Forces of Fury. However, please remember, if I unclick it, we have 826 different instruments in the entire Orchestral Complete. And, sorry, Orchestra, not orchestral. And there are sort of different solo sections. There's obviously all the different expansions to work through. There's so much going on with this library. Now, it is time for the composition. My composition, I continued my space theme. So if you saw my Orchestra for Hallion video, there's some kind of space thing going on. And I decided to put the emphasis on the aliens this time. They're flying saucers. Maybe they're invading Earth. I don't know. I don't know anything could happen. A superhero appears at the end. Who knows? But the idea was I wanted to do something cinematic. Now, virtually all of the orchestral content you hear is from the Horns of Hell. No, it's not. It's from Forces of Fury. I use one Horns of Hell instrument, a very low brass. I use a lot of different sound design, and the sound design actually took nearly as much time as the composing because, of course, the orchestra is a great composing tool. And the only orchestral instrument you can hear, well, traditional one, is a solo cello. So that is from a different library. Just because it's my go-to cello. I use it all the time. I won't say what it is. But I gave myself 90 minutes to compose, and I was kind of like running out of time. So I thought I'd throw an old faithful in towards the start. And yeah, I think it came out really, really well. So it is 95% Forces of Fury with a little bit of sound design. And that's it. So, and a cello and some tubular bells because I love tubular bells. Or orchestral chimes. I can't remember what they were. But anyway, it's the thing that I use in spaghetti westerns a lot. So let's check out the composition and then we're going to finish with my closing thoughts. Here we go. It is closing thoughts time once again, and we're talking about the Orchestra Complete 4 from Best Service and Sonuscore. In this video, I've focused on the Forces of Fury expansion because this is the new content. So I'm going to talk about that first, and then I'll talk about the Orchestra Complete 4 as a total instrument. Forces of Fury brings a new dimension to the Orchestra Complete. It is big, it's blockbuster, it's epic, it's very, very cinematic, and it complements the magic of Woods of the Wild, the fullness, shall we say, of Horns of Hell, Strings of Winter, so delicate and beautiful, and of course the core orchestra. So the Orchestra Complete 4 is now even more versatile. The orchestral voicings are just lush, they are big, they are instant Hollywood sound. You don't have to spend ages layering different instruments and different arrangements, just one finger on one key and you've got that instant sound. The orchestral rhythms, I mean, I love how this instrument is put together. It is seamless, everything is tempo synced so beautifully, and there is no overlap between the previous expansions and the new Forces of Fury, and I don't know how Best Service and Sonuscore keep coming up with new, original, exciting content for these expansions, but yes, they've done it again. And then the animated orchestra. Again, different feel, different vibe. We've got lots of epicness, we've got big build-ups, we've got marches, we've got some crime going on, some chases. It's a different flavour, as we were, to the other expansions. And again, these are amazing for creativity, for building beds for you to put your own different melodies on. Absolutely wonderful stuff. So Forces of Fury, there's a lot of content. If you're upgrading, $99, that is a steal for what you're getting. If you are brand new to the orchestra, which is what I'm going to talk about now, again, the price of a new license, you're getting so much for your money. So let's talk about the viewpoint of me, if you are new to the Orchestra Complete 4. That does make sense, I promise. I've used the orchestra to create music that's found its way onto so many different TV shows, different adverts. In fact, my first placements use my first work with the orchestra. I was a brand new composer and I love looking for new tools to compose with, and the orchestra is just that, because I see it in 3, maybe 4 different ways. So you have the core orchestra. It's an 80-piece orchestra and it's got your more traditional instruments, your ensembles. You can play to your heart's content, program everything yourself. Then of course we've got the voicings. The voicings are just massive time savers, and you select the correct voicing, and of course if there's one sound maybe in the engine you don't like, on the mixer, you can get rid of that, no problem. And then we've got orchestral rhythms. So you want to add some movement to your piece. Well, again, you just hold down a chord or a single finger, you've got instant movement, instant rhythms. And then animation, I've already talked about just how great these are for creating beds for you to compose upon, put your own melodies on, and it just takes you in different directions. So this is why I see it more as a composing tool. And the other thing I've read a lot over the years is, the orchestra is a fantastic sketching tool. Now, a sketching tool suggests to me you will later replace the instruments. And yes, we've got MIDI drop functionality if you own the Orchestra Complete. And that's all well and good, but I found myself just using the sounds from the orchestra, because to me, it is a wonderful 80-piece orchestra. It is different. It has a character, a different quality to other orchestral packages you can buy. But again, we're talking $449 for a full, multi-dimensional, versatile orchestra that you can create wonderful music with. And then there are always going to be the cynics, and I've got to address it. People say, well, all you're doing is holding down a chord, someone else has written the arrangements, you're just triggering them, and it's not your own work. Well, this is where being a working composer really comes in. Sometimes you don't have time to do massive orchestral arrangements, and the Orchestra Complete 4 has got me out of so many different situations. Well, not Complete 4 because it's brand new, but the Orchestra Complete in whichever version I've had it as. But like I say, I bought this when it first came out, and I bought the first expansion as well, and then I was fortunate enough to get in the position where I can make videos on these expansions and instruments. So just the fact I've used it on hundreds of tracks really for me is proof that it's a wonderful composing tool, a wonderful library, and it's helped me out no end as a composer. So do I recommend it? I really do. I think it's great value for money for the sheer amount of content you're getting. It is brilliant. And of course, you can control it so many different ways. There's 826 presets. You know, it's absolutely mad just what you get with this. And I love the engine. It's filtered by character and different time signatures, different feel. And of course, it's not just an orchestra. It's got the additions of choir, keys, harp. It's got an organ. There's loads going on with it. So yeah, I recommend it. I use it a lot, have done for years. It's been very successful for me, and yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Best Service and Sonuscore for sending over a copy of the Orchestra Complete 4 so we can make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video, and of course let us know what you think about the Orchestra Complete 4. Is it something you're going to pick up, or are you going to upgrade to? Maybe you've used the orchestra for years like I have. Let's chat about that. Brilliant. And then of course, please check out our other videos on YouTube. And if you've not done so already, please hit that subscribe button. It means the world to us. So incredibly important to us, and yeah, it just makes our day every time we see we've got a new subscriber. So there we go, smash that button if you've not done so already. Until next time, have a great day and keep making that beautiful music.